So the season 6 finale for Walking Dead has come out, and I know a lot of people will have mixed reactions to it, but my reaction is one of intense anger, because Negan was supposed to be this brilliant villain who made everyone afraid and made everyone worried, and he has a bunch, well, not a bunch, he has like 50 followers that go around policing, taxing, calling themselves Negan. We are all Negan, all that stuff. But he just wasn't. He wasn't the villain that I expected him to be. And I mean, I've read the comics, and he's normally extremely threatening. And I mean, his first scene that we see him in the comics, he beats the crap out of Glenn and kills him. And he just wasn't that guy in the show, or at least in this episode. He wasn't the guy I expected from reading the comics. And I know the TV show isn't going to be 100% like the comics, as we've seen already, but they could have at least tried a bit more with his character. I mean, sure, it's only very early days, and this is the first time we've seen him, and his character introduction was going to be very intense with him killing someone immediately. But I just hope, for the show's sake and for my own enjoyment's sake, that they make Negan more of the villain that he should be. Now on to the stupid cliffhanger that was at the end of that episode. Spoiler alert. He doesn't kill anyone. Well, he does. Or does he? But, you don't see it. He does this big, long speech. It must have been like a 7-minute speech about how Rick betrayed him and stuff. And, I mean, the tension, you could feel it, like it was there, but it just dissipated as the scene dragged on so much. Because the season finale this time around was 90 minutes, and it really didn't need to be. The whole storyline of Maggie having to go to a doctor up at the Hilltop place, that could have fit an episode in itself. But they had this other storyline about Carol going mental and wanting to leave because she killed people and stuff. I don't really know, I wasn't following that stuff that well. But yeah, that happened, and Morgan was also involved, so he wasn't at the final thing with Negan or something. But yeah, that's not what I'm mainly talking about. That was still rubbish, but it's not the main focus of this argument. But yeah, 60 minutes is all it would have taken to wrap up that nice story involving the survivors and Negan. But it didn't. They dragged it on, and from what we've seen of the survivors in the show as of lately, they are not smart people. They go around and they get shot a lot and killed a lot and stuff. But in this episode, at least, that wasn't the case. They managed to go to 3 or 4 separate spots, each growing in size, or growing in group size, as they got there to block off Rick's group trying to get to the Hilltop. I have no idea how they did that. I have no idea how they managed to get to each place and manage to, for the tension or whatever, manage to put a really small group at one place, a really medium-sized group at one place, and then a really big group at another place. They knew Rick's group was going to go in that order to those different places. That was kind of weird to me, because from what I've seen of the survivors, I mean, I know in the comics they're smart and stuff, but from what I've seen on the TV show, they are not the type of people who would be able to do that. And that kind of frustrated me a little, that they ruined the survivors' character. Well, the main idea of the survivors. And also, really, with the cliffhanger, come on, guys. We knew someone was going to die, and we all knew it was going to be a punch in the stomach, no matter who it was. But making it a cliffhanger means that you're basically tempting us to come back for the next season. And we were going to anyway. Anyone who's a dedicated fan of the show was going to come back for season 7 no matter what. Even if you'd killed Rick or Daryl. We would have wanted to see, say you killed Rick. I don't know why I'm saying you. say the writers or the people making the show killed Rick, that would have been cool. We would have seen a season without the main character, I guess, the main protagonist leading the group. We would have seen the Rick's, or, well, I guess not Rick's group anymore, in tatters, really, having to deal with Negan and the survivors, and also not having Rick's leader presence there. And we would have had to deal with Michonne, or we would have seen Michonne having to deal with Rick not being there and stuff, sorry. But, like, we would have come back either way. You didn't have to make it a cliffhanger. That was my point there. You didn't have to make it a cliffhanger, because we would have wanted to see what would have happened with Glenn dying, Daryl dying, or whatever. I mean, I would have been annoyed, upset, either way, whoever died, unless it was like Rosita or whatever, because they're not really main characters. But I would have been curious to see how the group would have dealt with any of those people there dying. And that would have been a fun element to explore in the next season. But no, we get a cliffhanger and we're left with a sour taste in our mouth going into the next season, because we don't know who Negan's killed. And they've already done that before. In this season, they already did a major tease about Glenn dying. Like, that episode, sure, it got me at the start, but then when you started thinking about it, you're like, no, Glenn wasn't killed, it was Nicholas's body on top of him. We don't need the bait and switch. We want to see you guys at the studio have the balls to kill off one of our favourite characters. That would be really cool to see. Like, we would all be in shock that you've just killed someone who means a lot to the cast in the show and means a lot to us. We would be really surprised, and we'd want to see how the group deals with it. But you didn't. You didn't kill Glenn at the start with Nicholas, and you're probably not going to kill anyone main with Negan. You're probably just going to kill bloody Aaron or something, who means nothing to the show. And that would be very annoying. And I wouldn't enjoy that ending, because we've had this whole build-up for Negan, and then he'd just kill someone who doesn't really matter to us or the main cast, really. But, in light of that, please, in Season 7, don't give us more of these terrible cliffhangers. Like, come on, guys. We just need more Walking Dead that's not boring, like whatever the season was with the governor. That was boring. We just want to see good old-fashioned zombie killing, or walker killing, because they refuse to say the word zombie in that show. But, yeah. Please don't kill someone we don't care about, because that would be boring. Kill, like, Carl or something, because that would really piss off all the teen fans of the show. Kill someone who means a lot to us, and would also have a lasting impact. And make Negan more cooler, please. But, yeah, that's my thoughts on The Walking Dead ending. Well, the Season 6 finale or whatever. Thank you.